Pearl glanced at the receptionist, who appeared busy, looking at her computer screen while talking on the phone, moving slightly on one of the office windows facing the vast lobby wrapping 3 stories high. Maybe someone just walked by the window and moved the blinds, she thought, hoping no one caught the quick kiss. Coming from upstairs, a professionally dressed woman approached them. "Hi, I'm Amelia, Miss Thorne's assistant. You must be Pearl Hamilton." She extended her hand to shake Pearl's. "I'll take you to the meeting room," she continued. Pearl and Noah followed her as she turned, heading back to the stairs, taking the lead. Why in the world didn't we take the elevator? It's good we're both working out and in good shape. I assume she aims to have us both out of breath when we get to whatever floor she's taking us. A thought crossed Pearl's mind. She didn't hear good things about Miss Thorne. Her middle name, which she notoriously and proudly gained, was Bitch. And pictures of her that Pearl saw in Forbes magazine and other related media supported the rumors. "They're doing some unscheduled maintenance on the elevator this morning. The meeting was moved to the 2nd floor," Amelia mentioned, turning her head slightly as if she'd read Pearl's mind. "Oh, that explains it," Pearl smiled. "It's okay. I take the stairs whenever I get the chance." "Make yourself comfortable. Can I bring you some coffee or tea? Water's over there." Amelia pointed to the luxurious office cabinets to the side, displaying a variety of fancy water brands. "Please, help yourself." "Water is good, thank you," Pearl answered, directing a questioning look to Noah. "Same here," Noah added. "Miss Thorne will be with you in a minute," Amelia continued as she closed the door to the meeting room. "Sparkling?" Noah asked as he got closer, checking the water bottles. "Only if you want to see me running out of here in embarrassment after I burp during the presentation," Pearl replied after taking a glance at him and figuring out what he was asking about. Meanwhile, she took her laptop out of its case. "Good point. So, flat it is." With Noah's help, Pearl had just finished connecting her device to the company's system when a woman, who looked like she was in her late 30s, entered the meeting room. By Pearl's math, Mel Thorne should be at least in her late 40s. She always thought the pictures in magazines may have been airbrushed. It's not like she can't afford to have all sorts of jobs done. Then again, Mum doesn't look a day older than 65, though she's approaching 80. And she didn't have anything done to her face or body. It may be in some people's genes. I hope I got Mum's genes, a thought quickly crossed her mind. "You must be Pearl Hamilton." The woman's shimmery dark Snow White style haircut bounced as she marched tall and slender. "And cold." Pearl made a mental note, unable to take her eyes off the bright red lipstick moving as the words came out of her mouth. In a black and royal blue color block dress, hugging her perfect figure and wearing black patent pumps, her handshake was firm when she approached Pearl to introduce herself. "Mel Thorne," she said in a tone just as firm as her handshake. "Pearl Hamilton," Pearl said confidently, taking her hand briefly as she struggled not to show her nervousness. "And who is this handsome young man?" Mel turned toward Noah, who seemed to have swallowed his tongue. "This is my colleague, Noah Wright. He's an intern, learning the ropes, and is here to assist me with the presentation today," Pearl continued, appearing to recover from the spell of the initial intimidation. "Right. Is that right? Noah Wright." A strange undertone exuded from Mel's voice as she extended her hand to Noah. "Any relation to Ian Wright, the illustrious lawyer?" Mel narrowed her eyes, assessing Noah. "Yes, he is my father," Noah replied, his voice dusky and his palms sweaty. "I thought so. You look like him," she added coldly. "Let's see what you have for me today, Miss Hamilton." Mel continued, sitting and leaning back, elbows propped on the chair's armrests and fingers interlaced in front. Taking a quick sip from her water bottle, with a painful swallow, Pearl began the presentation. She only had 15 minutes. Her coldness made it clear beforehand that she was busy and only had 15 minutes to spare. As Pearl kept talking, she only looked toward Mel a couple of times. She knew eye contact was crucial, but she wanted to keep her eyes on the slides to prevent missing anything important. Plus, the woman's uninterested posture irritated and intimidated Pearl at the same time. She wanted to disregard that. 5 minutes into her speech, Pearl glanced at Mel again, only to see her leaning onwards, eyes narrowed and forearms resting on the table, appearing captivated. Reassured, Pearl continued livelier, her confidence coming back. Another probably 5 minutes in, and Mel interrupted her. "Miss Hamilton." Pearl felt her blood curdling, running cold through her veins. "Are you sure your company can deliver everything you're presenting me with?" "Yes, I am sure." Pearl swallowed before continuing. "Everything I've presented so far, I have delivered before for some of our clients. Here is my portfolio and credentials." She grabbed a file from the other end of the table close to her and walked over to the other end, handing it to Mel. Mel took it and flipped through the pages, pouting and pursing her mouth, cocking a brow here and there. "You have an impressive portfolio for someone this young, Miss Hamilton." Mel paused, gazing up at Pearl. "You mean for someone with my background? Well, let's say the pressure was quite high, along with the expectations, or should I say, the skepticism I faced from others. You probably can relate." Pearl directly alluded to Mel's background. Pearl researched Mel before the meeting. She had to know who she was and what tickled her senses. Well, she came up empty-handed. Mel's senses appeared either lacking or not sensitive enough to tickle, or probably she had the incredible ability to keep them in check all these years, and nothing transpired about her actually holding a human side. Bitch. Bitch and more bitch was written all over the place. Many years before, after one Christmas vacation in the Alps, Mel's father, who built the company from the ground up, suffered a stroke. His health deteriorated, and he passed away only a few years later. By then, Mel was already running the company. She had to take over at the drop of a hat when her father fell ill. A spoiled brat up to that moment, she found herself under a lot of pressure as the administrative board's expectations were high. Mel was now a high-quality diamond formed under extremely high pressure, not yielding under any circumstances. In translation, a bitch. Pursing her mouth, she closed the file and fixed her squinty glare on Pearl. "Miss Hamilton, I like you. There's an opportunity for future collaboration if you deliver what you promised. Let's see how this first event goes, and we can discuss it further later." Finally, the specter of a smile appeared on her bright red lips while reaching to seal the deal with a handshake. Pearl's stomach fluttered with anticipation, trying to hold it together and not look overly exhilarated. "I'm sorry. I need to step outside for a minute. I'll be back to help you pack." Noah excused himself. He needed to visit the washroom. The pressure was high, and he anxiously gulped a whole bottle of water in less than 10 minutes. He couldn't hold it any longer. Shaking his hand, Mel's squinty gaze followed Noah until he exited the room. "So, you're sleeping with your father's ex's son," Mel said, turning toward Pearl and glaring straight into her eyes. "I'm sorry?" Pearl asked, returning a confused glare. "I know lovebirds when I see them. Besides, I saw you two kissing in the lobby when you arrived." Pearl reacted tangled, biting her lower lip. "That is a personal matter, and I'd like us to have a strictly professional relationship." "Absolutely. I just noticed the irony of the situation. Your dad dumped his mother for yours. It will be interesting to watch your evolution." Mel continued, sounding quite casual. "I'll send you the contract once our CFO signs it. It was nice meeting you." "Same here," Pearl added as Mel left. "Bitch," she thought. When Noah returned, he found Pearl in the middle of a funny happy dance performance, hugging and kissing her laptop. "Did she sign?" Blissful curiosity lined Noah's tone. Pearl grinned, her eyes glinting with happiness. "She did." "Let's go get some coffee," Noah suggested, taking Pearl into his arms and twirling her. I'll need something stronger than coffee, she giggled. Placing her down, Noah planted a passionate kiss on her lips. She flinched, remembering the last exchange of words between Mel and her when Noah stepped out of the room. As she began packing her stuff, Pearl's mind meandered. What the hell? What is this story? Maybe it's just another gossip. She shook the thought off.